Hi, this is a little video to show you how to tune your guitar a quarter tone flat or a quarter tone sharp based on the overtone series. It's technically not exactly a quarter tone because the 11th partial in the overtone series is deviates from equal temperament by 49 cents rather than 50, but that's extremely close, so for all intents and purposes we can call it a quarter tone. Okay, so with that out of the way, I find that using the A string gets me the clearest sound on the 11th partial. Now this partial is very high in the harmonic series, and it is a little bit difficult to get a clear harmonic from it. But I find that I'm able to get the clearest harmonic on the 5th string. So basically, the way this is going to work is you would start off with your guitar in normal tuning, so you could use an A from your metronome to check your A string, either open or 12th fret harmonic or a 5th fret harmonic. I like the 5th fret harmonic because it puts us in the same octave as most tuners or most A's on the metronome. And you want to tune that so it's totally beatless, so that there are no beats and the sound doesn't waver at all. Once you get that nice A 440, then we have our overtone series, which is going to divide the string into various lengths. So we have a whole string vibrating. Then by touching at the 12th fret, we get their most common harmonic by dividing the string in half, which is the 2nd partial. Dividing the string into thirds, it's the 7th fret, which is the 3rd partial. 4th partial, 5th partial, slightly behind the 4th fret, 6th partial, 7th partial, 8th partial, 9th partial, 10th partial. Now here we're getting pretty high, and it's starting to get hard to isolate that harmonic note just because of the width of the fingertip that has to play it, but you can sort of get it. There it is. There's the 10th partial. You might want to experiment also in where you're plucking in the right hand, especially in the upper partials. Pluck in slightly different places until you get that harmonic to really sound out. There it is. And the 11th partial. There it is. Okay, now sometimes I actually like to use a sort of the rubber part of a nail file to help isolate that partial. You might want to try that if you're having a hard time with the fingertip. You can try to find that. Now this harmonic node is going to be about, if you think of the distance between the 1st fret and the 2nd fret, it's about a quarter of the way from the 2nd fret towards the 1st fret. So if you're at the 2nd fret and you're moving towards the 1st fret, go 1/4 of that distance. It's approximately that. It's about 1/4 there. There it is. That's sounding a little clearer. Now, once you do get that harmonic, what you're going to do is that harmonic that's generated is, in effect, a D sharp, but a D sharp that's 49 cents flat. So we can use that quarter tone flat D sharp to tune the D string to it. So what I'll do is we'll play that 11th partial on the A string, and then a 5th fret harmonic on the D string, and we want to tune those to match. So I'll go, let's see, where is it again? There it is. Now you want to tune these also to be completely beatless so that there's no wavering when you hear the two harmonics simultaneously. Yep. That's a hard one. Okay, so those match pretty well. Now my 4th string is tuned to D sharp minus 49 cents. Or, so you could think of it as a D sharp quarter tone flat, or you could think of it as a D quarter tone sharp. So if that might be easier to think of it that way, since we think of it as the D string. You think of this now is a D quarter tone sharp. So if you want to tune your whole guitar to be a quarter tone sharp, just use the D string now as your reference string and tune all the strings using octaves to the D string. So I can go etc., etc. Now, just to show you what these quarter tones sound like, before I go through all the strings, what we had before was if I had a D on the A string, now the D quarter tone sharp is on the 4th string. So now I can play a 24-note scale by going. Etc. Now, if we want to tune, okay, so I could go through and tune everything to be a quarter tone sharp, but if I want it to be a quarter tone flat, then all I have to do is, remember now we have this string, which we said was D sharp minus 49 cents, or we could think of it as D natural plus 51 cents. Let's think of it as D sharp minus 49. If that's D sharp minus 49, then what I can do is I can play on the 6th fret of the D string and tune my 5th string open to match it. And once we get close, now that matches, open A string to the 6th fret of the D string. Now my 5th string is an A minus 49 cents. Now that I have that, I'm going to use that string as my reference string and tune all the other strings to that. Now what that's going to mean, what's going to be interesting, is now when I go back to my D string, we're going to find it's a half step high, because you sort of add 2 quarter tones together on either side and you get a half step. And that's, now you're going to hear my sort of 5th fret on the A string to the 4th string open is a semitone. So I'm just going to tune that all the way down from being a quarter tone sharp to now a quarter tone flat. There we go. Now my guitar is in tune with itself in 12-tone equal temperament, but every note on every string and every fret is 49 cents flatter than a guitar tuned normally to a 440. So if you, watching this video, play an E major chord, you can play it now, and then you can hear that should sound a little wonky. Quarter tone flat. Okay, I hope this helps. All right, if you have any questions, michaelkudirka.com, michaelkudirka.com. I should mention that this idea, the question that kind of engendered this system of tuning that I just talked to you about, came from my good friend, composer Jeffrey Holmes, who writes a lot of phenomenal microtonal guitar music with alternate tunings. So I've got to thank Jeff, whose question got me to think about this and come up with this video. Okay, hope it helps. Bye.